Leo entered the lounge after receiving the text. Julian was surrounded by a circle of friends. He smoked, his expression filled with arrogance. He blew out a cloud of smoke with a smirk. Julian announced that he had finally conquered Leo last night. The group around him offered their praise. They called him a legend for turning a straight man. Everyone knew Leo was notoriously hard to win over. Julian had spent a year on the pursuit. His smile deepened as he casually tapped ash from his cigarette. He commented on Leo's supposed purity. Julian claimed it was an underwhelming experience. He compared Leo unfavorably to his past lovers. Leo stood frozen, unable to recognize this version of Julian. This was not the man who claimed to love him. The same man who drove 1,000 miles for a missed text. The man who had held him, trembling with relief. This was not the man who scoured the city for a rare part. A part to fix a childhood video game console. This was not the man who stood by his grandmother's grave. He had shielded Leo from the rain with his own body. Now Julian treated him like a trophy, a story to entertain his friends. One man made a crude suggestion to Julian. He asked if he could have a turn with Leo. Julian's smile vanished. He kicked the man's leg lightly, his brow furrowed. He stated that he was not finished with Leo yet. The man persisted, asking what would happen when Julian got bored. Julian forcefully stubbed out his cigarette in the ashtray. He said they would see what happened then. A man with delicate features approached their table. He offered to buy Julian a drink. Julian looked up, a slow smile spreading across his face. He accepted the glass from the stranger. The man introduced himself as Sam. Julian simply gave his own last name. Seeing no resistance, Sam grew bolder. He asked if Julian was free for the evening. Sam's hand rested on Julian's shoulder. He asked if he could climb into Julian's bed. Sam's confidence was unwavering. His hand moved provocatively toward Julian's belt. Julian remained silent, his eyes dark and unreadable. His friends began to jeer and tease him. They wondered if he had actually fallen in love. They questioned if he was afraid of upsetting Leo. His year of good behavior was just an act, they said. They joked that the reformed Playboy act had become real. Julian listened to their taunts. He downed the drink in one swallow. Then he announced there were excellent rooms upstairs. He wrapped an arm around Sam and led him away. The lounge was on the first floor. Private rooms were on the second. Guest suites occupied the third floor. Leo watched them ascend the staircase. His eyes burned with an unsheddable pain. He ordered a bottle of whiskey from the bar. He decided he would wait for Julian to come back down. He sat there through the entire night. Julian and Sam finally descended as dawn approached. The alcohol had worn off, leaving only a hollow ache. Leo walked toward them. He stared at the fresh marks on Julian's neck. He remembered their own intimacy from 2 nights before. His hands clenched and unclenched at his sides. Julian was clearly surprised to see him. Panic flashed in his eyes. He asked Leo why he was there. Leo gave a cold laugh, asking if he was interrupting. Julian reached out to grab his hand. Leo looked at him, his voice dangerously calm. Was it fun? He asked if Sam was a better lover. Julian said nothing. His lips pressed into a thin line. Leo pulled his hand away. He took a step back, wiping his hand with a napkin. You're dirty. I don't want you anymore. He turned and walked away without another word. He went to the restroom to splash water on his face. He heard voices from just outside the door. It was Sam speaking to Julian. He asked if he needed help explaining the situation. Julian's laugh was cold and sharp. He said Sam's interference was not necessary. He described Leo as boring and unskilled in bed. It was just a game. He had planned to teach him a few things before getting bored. Julian scoffed at the idea that Leo had rejected him. He claimed it was a relief, one less problem to handle. Leo looked at his own reflection in the mirror. His eyes were bloodshot from a sleepless night. He looked pathetic and worn out. Was this worthless man worth the pain? He slammed his fist into the mirror. Blood dripped from his knuckles onto the white porcelain sink. "You're a fool, Leo. Why would you fall for someone so rotten?" Why did his heart still ache for him? In Julian's eyes, he was just a toy. When Leo walked out, Julian saw his bleeding hand. He immediately tried to grab it. "What happened to your hand?" Leo snatched it back with a scornful smile. "It's none of your business." He said Julian should be celebrating his freedom. He asked why Julian was pretending to care now. "Did you want to see if I would come crawling back?" His anger finally boiled over. He kicked Julian hard in the chest. "You're a bastard. Get the hell away from me." Julian stumbled backward, clutching his chest. His face was a storm of conflicting emotions. Leo paid the bar manager for the broken mirror. Then he left immediately. Outside the lounge, a familiar figure leaned against a black sedan. It was Caleb, his stepbrother, who had been abroad for 3 years. He wore a perfectly tailored suit. His handsome face was cold and distant. Despite his unapproachable aura, men were trying to get his number. He kept his hands in his pockets, his gaze fixed ahead. He gave them a ridiculous excuse. "I didn't bring my phone." Leo tried to walk away unnoticed, but Caleb called out his name. The crowd around Caleb saw them. They whispered that he was already taken and dispersed. Caleb walked quickly to his side. He took Leo's injured hand, his eyes filled with derision. "Do you really like him that much? Enough to hurt yourself over him?" His voice grew harsher with each word. His grip on Leo's wrist tightened. Leo's mood was already foul. He yanked his hand free. "You're the one who sent me that text. You waited here to see me humiliated. Are you satisfied?" Caleb's voice turned colder. "You think I wanted to see you get hurt? Isn't that it?" Since Leo and his mother had joined the family, Caleb had been hostile. Leo had tried to be friendly. He had tried calling him brother. Caleb always rejected him with a cold stare. He would say his mother only had one son. After Caleb's father died, he left the country immediately. That was 3 years ago. His first act upon returning was this cruel surprise. Caleb took a sharp breath. "I just didn't want you to be deceived. Or would you rather be the happy fool, kept in the dark?" His expression softened slightly. "Let's go. Your mom has been looking for you. She even called me." Leo checked his phone. The battery was dead. "We need to treat that cut. You can stay at my place tonight. Otherwise, how will you explain the injury to her?" "That's not necessary. I'll tell her I'm on a business trip. I'll see her in a few days." Caleb insisted, pulling him into the car. He drove to a pharmacy for supplies. Then they went to a nearby hotel. Caleb charged Leo's phone and replied to his mother's message. He sat Leo down to clean the wound. He found a small shard of glass embedded in the skin. His brow furrowed deeply. This might hurt a little. He carefully worked to remove the splinter. Leo flinched from the sharp sting. "Does it hurt badly? I'll be more gentle." Caleb's tenderness was so unlike him. It made Leo feel uncomfortable. "Give it to me. I'll do it myself." Caleb did not insist. He stood up and left the room. After Leo finished cleaning and bandaging his hand, Caleb returned. He took the supplies and finished wrapping the gauze. "I ordered some soup. You should get some sleep. You can eat when you wake up." "Are you pitying me?" Caleb's hands paused. He looked up, his gaze incredibly serious. "You could watch someone die in front of me, I wouldn't feel an ounce of pity. Then why are you doing this? Leo could never understand Caleb's motivations. He thought he would never see him again. Their only connection, Caleb's father, was gone. If it wasn't pity, then what was it? He couldn't figure it out. The exhaustion of the long night washed over him. He rubbed his temples. Caleb helped him up. He guided him to the bed and pulled the covers over him. You're tired. Just sleep. The veins in your eyes are about to burst. Leo was too exhausted to think anymore. He drifted into a heavy sleep. He didn't see Caleb take his injured hand. He didn't see him press a reverent kiss to the bandage. Caleb's gaze was intense. Of course, it's for you. Once his hand healed, Caleb invited him rock climbing. Their recent time together had been strange. They had never been close as brothers. Yet these past few weeks felt different. Caleb brought him lunch and dinner at the hotel daily. Even when busy, his assistant delivered the meals. Leo said it was too much trouble. He could just order takeout. Caleb dismissed his protests. Takeout is unhealthy. Besides, I have to eat too. Brothers should take care of each other. Leo was stunned when Caleb called himself his brother. He choked on his food. Caleb poured him a glass of water. He patted his back gently. Be careful. You're not a kid anymore. Bringing up their past felt petty now. So he stopped refusing Caleb's help. In just half a month, they grew closer. More than in the 7 years they lived together. Leo was surprised by Caleb's hobby. He always seemed so meticulously put together. He didn't seem like an extreme sports enthusiast. Leo checked his schedule and agreed to go. At the climbing gym, he saw Julian. He was dressed in simple black athletic wear. Even in casual clothes, he exuded a sense of wealth. Sam was with him, adjusting his collar. Julian's gaze was vacant, enjoying the attention. This was the real Julian, never lacking companionship, never willing to give up his freedom for one person. Leo realized he had been fooled by a year of false devotion. Julian, Leo is here. Is he here to beg for you back? One of Julian's friends called out. Julian's gaze shifted to the side. He saw Leo standing there. A slow, mocking smile appeared on Julian's face. Well, you were so final that day. Now you're here to find me? You know I have a weekly routine. Leo and Julian had first met while bungee jumping. It was a regular hobby of his. That day, they were paired for a tandem jump. Afterward, Julian had asked for his number. He said he felt an instant connection. Many people had asked for his number before. Leo had refused. He told Julian it was just the thrill of the jump. He had walked away, leaving Julian behind. He heard people laughing at Julian's rejection. Later, Julian became his client for a design project. He insisted they exchange contact information. He claimed it was for work purposes. But he immediately confessed his continued feelings for Leo. I don't like men. Leo had a brief relationship with a girl in college. Julian was not deterred by this. He had challenged him. How do you know if you don't try? What if you fall for me? And Julian had made him fall. He always appeared when Leo needed someone most. He shielded Leo from a bottle during a fight with a client. He found the parts for his broken Atari console. He had searched tirelessly across the city. Leo told him to give up, that he had already looked. Julian refused, believing he might find it. He eventually found a matching console at a flea market. He used its parts to repair Leo's. When Leo missed his grandmother's final moments due to work, he knelt at her grave for a full day. Julian stood with him, holding an umbrella in the rain. He comforted him silently. The rain soaked his expensive suit, but he didn't care. During a wilderness survival course, Leo got lost. His phone died, he fell, broke his leg, and had a high fever. It was Julian who found him. He gave Leo his own clothes for warmth. He carried him out through treacherous terrain. He protected Leo when they slipped and fell. His own body was scraped and bruised. Julian ended up sicker than Leo. He developed a case of pneumonia. The first thing he did upon waking was find Leo. He held his hand, his entire body shaking. He said he was terrified of losing him. It was after that incident that Leo agreed to try. Perhaps it was another trick of adrenaline and fear. Someone pulling you from the brink of death. It was hard not to develop feelings. All those moments were just part of his game. A calculated performance to prove his own charm. The thought still sent a pang of pain through Leo's chest. But he knew it was just part of the withdrawal. He looked away coolly. "I'm not here for you." His eyes scanned the gym for Caleb. Julian's expression turned to one of open mockery. He clearly did not believe him. "Leo, I thought you were different from the others. But now I see you're the same. Playing hard to get won't work on me. Just admit you still want me. I'm not tired of you yet." Julian was used to getting his way. He had wealth and good looks. All his exes eventually came back to him. He was tired of their games. Leo ignored his arrogant attitude. He pulled out his phone to call Caleb. Before he could dial, a clear voice called out, "Leo, you're here." Caleb wore a gray sweatsuit. His tall frame was lean and athletic. His glasses gave him a refined air. A rare, gentle smile was on his face. Leo had never seen him look like this. He was momentarily stunned. Caleb was effortlessly handsome. He ruffled Leo's hair. "What are you staring at? Who is he?" Julian's voice cut in sharply. His eyes were fixed on Caleb's hand on Leo's head. His face darkened, his tone dangerously low. His words were clipped with anger. Leo feared another accusation of playing games. He answered coldly, "He's my brother." Caleb's smile faded when he saw Julian. Julian stepped forward and grabbed Leo's arm. His gaze was piercing. "I've never heard you mention a brother." Before Leo could react, Caleb pushed his hand away. "There's a lot you don't know about him." The two men were of similar height and build. The tension between them was palpable. Julian suddenly let out a derisive laugh. He looked at Leo with contempt. "You don't like men? Were you playing me all along? You moved on pretty quickly." Caleb's eyes narrowed, ready to fight. Leo pulled him back. Caleb's voice was strained, full of disappointment. "Are you going to defend him?" Leo stepped forward and kicked Julian again. Julian stumbled back from the force of the blow. Leo sneered. "Defend him? I just wanted to do it myself." "Julian, I don't want to argue like a scorned lover. But you will not continue to insult me. Did you forget the last kick? I can give you a few more. Who do you think you are?" Julian was caught completely off guard. He fell to the ground, a footprint on his chest. Sam rushed to help him up. Julian's friends started to close in on Leo. "Get the hell away from me!" Julian shouted at them, dusting himself off. His eyes were red with fury as he stared at Leo. "You kicked me for him." Leo found his reaction amusing. Julian was the one who had cheated. His pursuit was driven by ego. Now he acted as if Leo had betrayed him. "So what if I did? That's just great." The words were ground out between his teeth. Julian turned to face Caleb. "Since we're at a climbing gym, you must climb. Let's have a competition." Caleb seemed much calmer now. "What are you betting?" "The loser stays away from him forever." "No bet." Julian tried to provoke him. "What, are you scared?" Caleb's reply was calm and direct. "Yes, I am. Besides, he is not a prize to be won. We have no right to make him our wager." Julian was left looking frustrated and foolish. Caleb ignored him. "Leo, let's go. This place is dirty." We can come back another day." After they left the gym, Julian kicked a piece of equipment. He yelled at his friends to leave. Sam watched his outburst and spoke up again. "Do you want me to explain to him?" Nothing happened between us that night. Julian had taken him upstairs. Sam had showered and come out ready. But Julian just sat on the couch, smoking. He had cursed under his breath. Then he got up and left Sam alone. Julian spent the entire night on the sofa outside the suite. For weeks, Sam had been his companion. But only when Julian was with friends. Julian always seemed distracted, lost in thought. He had even called Sam by Leo's name several times. He would then act as if nothing happened. Julian lit another cigarette, his eyes cold. He maintained his air of superiority. "I told you not to get involved. It's not like he's the only one." Sam just shook his head. So much pride. If Leo wasn't the only one, why the big scene? He acted like an animal defending its territory. He probably didn't notice the look in Caleb's eyes. It was pure possession, carefully restrained, but undeniably there. That was not a brother. It was a lover in waiting. But some people refuse to face the truth. Sam had tried to help. Any more would be overstepping. Julian's type was predictable. When regret finally hits, no amount of crying will help. Caleb took Leo home. To be precise, to Leo's mother's home. The trunk was filled with gifts and supplements. "Why did you bring so much? It's been years since I've seen Mom." Leo was shocked by his choice of words. "What did you just call her?" In the past, he never called her Mom. He treated her like a stranger. At best, he would use her first name. For the first time, Caleb looked embarrassed. "I was immature back then. I won't be anymore." It wasn't entirely Caleb's fault. Leo's mother had married his father a year after his own mother's death. Caleb believed she was the cause of his mother's decline. He never did anything overtly cruel. He just maintained a cold, impenetrable distance. He never acknowledged Leo as his brother. His father punished him repeatedly, but he never changed. His rebellious phase was marked by fights and poor grades. He and Leo were only a year apart. They were often compared. Caleb was always the one being reprimanded. He was told to be more like the diligent Leo. He always responded with a mask of indifference. One day, he came home covered in blood with a broken hand. His father finally told him the truth about his mother. She had also lost her first love to illness. Her marriage to his father had been arranged. She had passed away when Caleb was 15. They had hidden the truth from him. They feared he would feel like a product of a loveless union. They worried it would affect his self-worth. His father showed him his mother's diaries. Caleb finally let go of his resentment. He was 19 at the time. His attitude toward Leo and his mother softened after that. When his mother saw Caleb, she heard him call her Mom. Her eyes instantly filled with tears. In the 7 years they lived together, she loved him like her own son. After his father's death, Caleb sold the house. He left most of the money to them. Then he disappeared abroad without a word. At dinner, their mother served many of Caleb's favorite dishes. Leo couldn't help but feel a little jealous. "Mom, anyone would think I'm not your real son." She playfully tapped his head. "Don't be silly. You were away on a business trip. Caleb hasn't been here in 3 years. I'll just have to come over for dinner more often then." "Good. It's starting to rain. You should both stay here tonight. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. You'll have to share with Leo." The decision was made without his input. Later that night, the awkwardness returned. They had never shared a room before. They rarely even entered each other's space. Leo was always afraid of overstepping. Caleb's early coldness had left a lasting impression. Even with their recent closeness, sharing a bed was strange. Leo found a spare set of pajamas for him. Do you want to shower first, or should I? Caleb took the clothes. You go first. I have some work to do. He took out his laptop and started typing. When Leo came out, Caleb was standing by his desk. He was looking at an old photo album. He had taken off his shirt. His muscular back was illuminated by the lamp. A faint smile played on his lips. What are you looking at? Your childhood photos. They're pretty funny. Leo saw it was a picture of him as a baby. He quickly closed the album. There's nothing to see. Caleb grabbed his clothes and went into the bathroom. Leo then noticed the bathroom's design. The glass door was frosted but still translucent. He could clearly see Caleb's silhouette inside. He could hear the sound of the running water. He turned the air conditioner down. He remembered being 19 and barging into the bathroom. He had seen Caleb showering. They had both turned bright red. Caleb had yelled at him to get out. Leo had retorted that he should have locked the door. He hadn't thought much of it then. He felt the mattress dip beside him. Caleb sat on the edge of the bed. He was wearing Leo's linen pajamas. They were a little too small for him. The fabric stretched tightly across his frame. Leo quickly looked away. His phone rang. It was Julian. He immediately declined the call and blocked the number. Caleb's gaze was heavy. Why were you with Julian? I remember you dated a girl in your junior year. During his junior year, a popular girl had kissed him. She confessed her feelings and asked him out. He was stunned but not repulsed, so he agreed. They broke up amicably after a short time. That was the same year Caleb went abroad. I don't want to talk about him. Leo turned his back to Caleb. As he drifted off to sleep, he felt an arm pull him close. After that night, Caleb came over almost every day. If it was late or raining, he would stay. After about 2 months, the awkwardness faded. Waking up in Caleb's arms no longer felt strange. He remembered more about their past together. Their shared memories were few but vivid. After turning 19, Caleb changed. He repeated his senior year of high school. They were in the same grade. He would ask Leo for help with his studies. He brought Leo breakfast to thank him. He even got into a fight defending Leo. His grades improved dramatically. He was accepted into the same university as Leo. Leo studied interior design. Caleb studied business administration. No one at college knew they were brothers. They joined the same clubs and teams. They were always competing for first place. People saw them as fierce rivals. They rarely interacted otherwise. Their home life was peaceful during those 3 years. Then, in their junior year, his father was diagnosed with cancer. He passed away within 3 months. Caleb handled the funeral and estate. Then he left for another country. His diploma was mailed to him. Leo watched Caleb fastening his tie. Why did you leave so suddenly back then? Caleb finished with his watch and turned around. My colleagues are throwing me a birthday party tonight. Come with me. I'll tell you after it's over. Leo went to a high-end store to buy a gift. Caleb had expensive taste. He had been showering their mother with gifts. It was only right to get him something nice. He decided on a tie clip. He chose a discreet black and gold one. While waiting, he ran into Julian. He looked thinner than before. He was alone. He rushed forward and grabbed Leo's arm. Leo. Leo pulled his hand away and stepped back. Don't talk to me if you see me. We have nothing to do with each other. The sales clerk handed him the wrapped gift. Leo paid and turned to leave. Julian chased after him, his voice desperate. I know I was wrong, Leo. These past few months have been hell. I thought I could live without you. I was wrong. I can't. No one else is you. I need you. Leo looked at him with surprising calmness. The last bit of pain had finally vanished. It doesn't matter to me. The moment you walked down those stairs with someone else, it was over. Julian's eyes were red, but he wouldn't let go. His voice trembled. Nothing happened that night. I can call Sam right now to explain. He fumbled for his phone, dropping it on the pavement. The screen cracked and the phone died. Their argument was drawing attention. Let's go somewhere else. I don't want an audience. Julian drove them to a lakeside park. It was the same place Leo had agreed to date him. The irony was not lost on him. My phone is broken. Let me use yours to call Sam. It's not important anymore. Leo cut him off coldly. What happened that night doesn't matter. It has been months. Obsessing over it would only make me miserable. Julian's face was etched with pain. His hands were clenched into tight fists. Leo, please give me another chance. I won't disappoint you again. Leo let out a dry laugh. Did my refusal to come back hurt your ego? Is your desire for conquest acting up again? Tears streamed down Julian's face. He shook his head frantically. No, I realized I truly love you. Only you. That day at the lounge, it was just for show. I took him upstairs for my pride. I didn't touch him. My pride means nothing compared to you. I was buying you a gift today. I wanted to talk. Leo watched him with detached composure. What if I told you I feel nothing for you anymore? The trust is broken. Even if we got back together, I would always remember that night. I would remember you calling me a game. You are tainted in my mind. Julian suddenly jumped into the lake. I can wash myself clean. 10 times if I have to. Leo, please let's go back to how we were. The proud Julian had never been so desperate. He had never begged for anyone like this. He never thought anyone could affect him so deeply. Night after night, he was haunted by their memories. He thought it was just temporary discomfort. But the memories only grew clearer. The fear and loss were unbearable. He knew he had made a terrible mistake. But Leo's expression remained unchanged. It was completely devoid of emotion. Impossible. He said the single word and walked away. Aren't you afraid I'll die here? Julian's desperate shouts echoed from the water. If you die, it has nothing to do with me. Your family will be sad. Don't try to guilt-trip me. When Leo arrived at the party, he saw a commotion. A drunk female employee was confessing to Caleb. She held out a birthday gift. I like you, Caleb. Can I have a chance? He replied without a moment's hesitation. No, I already have someone I like. Leo stopped in his tracks. A strange discomfort bloomed in his chest. Why did it bother him to hear that? Had sharing a bed created feelings? The woman was drunk and persistent. She threw her arms around Caleb's waist. Just one hug then. Who is she? I want to see who I lost to. Caleb gently removed her hands. He'll be here soon. Leo's phone rang. He stepped out of the room to answer. It was Ava, his college ex-girlfriend. She was in town for one night and wanted to meet. He glanced back into the room and agreed. He left the gift at the front desk for Caleb. He said something came up and he couldn't stay. When he met Ava, she looked him over and smiled. I regret breaking up with you. You've gotten more handsome. You look great too. She handed him a wedding invitation. My wedding is next month. Come if you can. He took it. His phone rang again. It was Caleb. Leo, you promised you would be here tonight. He thought of Caleb's words about his love arriving soon. He wanted to avoid that scene. Miss, I'm so sorry. A waiter spilled water on Ava. It's fine. Leo, excuse me. I need to clean up. Caleb's voice came through the phone. Are you with Ava? Yes. Before Leo could say more, Caleb spoke again. You're busy. He hung up abruptly. You seem distracted. Leo stirred his soup. Am I? She sighed with a knowing look. Yes. Do you know why I broke up with you? Why? Their relationship had fizzled out when Caleb's father got sick. Her reason for the breakup had seemed logical at the time. She said he always avoided intimacy. Besides that first kiss, they barely even hugged. When you truly love someone, you want to be close. He was always passive. She rested her chin on her hand. Do you remember Caleb? Whenever he was around, you would only look at him. Everyone said you were rivals. I thought you were secretly in love with him. Luckily, I was only interested in your looks. I moved on quickly when I realized your heart was elsewhere. They chatted a bit more about college. Her fiancé arrived to pick her up. After that night, Caleb stopped coming over. Then Leo's mother asked him to deliver some food to Caleb's apartment. She said Caleb had been craving it. When Caleb opened the door, his face was unusually flushed. The apartment was dark and smelled faintly of alcohol. Why are you here? Mom asked me to bring you this. Are you drinking in the middle of the day? As Caleb took the container, Leo felt his burning skin. He touched his forehead. He had a fever. Leo's anger flared. Are you trying to kill yourself? Drinking so much with a fever? Caleb looked down, his face pale from sickness. He seemed vulnerable, unlike his usual cold self. It wasn't that much. Leo gestured to the empty wine bottles on the table. This isn't much? Have you eaten? No appetite. What's wrong? Why are you acting like this? The food is here. You can go now. Leo grabbed his collar and pushed him against the wall. What is wrong with you? You come and go as you please. You ignore me whenever you want. You think the world revolves around you. Caleb, he suddenly leaned down and kissed him. Leo tried to pull away. He held the back of his head, deepening the kiss. Leo's mind went blank. When he was breathless, Caleb finally released him. He whispered in his ear, "You promised you would come that night, but you didn't. You went to see Ava instead. I was afraid to see you again. I thought you would tell me you got back together. Leo, why can't the person by your side be me?" He rested his head on Leo's shoulder. The sudden confession made his heart race. Caleb has been in love with me for 7 years. For a decade, Leo thought Caleb merely tolerated him. A familiar stranger who became a brother out of obligation. But I always thought you disliked me. He looked up, his eyes red. Dislike you? Why would I work so hard to get into the same university? Why would I join all those stupid clubs just to be near you? Me? But you wouldn't let me call you brother. At 17, it was because I resented you. But at 19, it was because I loved you. Hearing you call me brother felt wrong. It made me feel disgusting for wanting my own brother. I desired you in secret for 7 years. He confessed he only competed with him to get his attention. He wanted Leo to see him as an equal. Then he saw Ava kiss him under the streetlight. He knew all hope was lost. He thought Leo only liked women. After his father's death, he fled the country. He couldn't bear to watch Leo get married someday. He planned never to return. Then he saw a post about Leo and Julian. He heard about Julian's reputation even overseas. He came back immediately. He was afraid Leo would get hurt, but he also selfishly hoped Julian would mess up. Then he would have his chance. When he heard Julian bragging, he called Leo. He wanted to take advantage of the situation. He used the pretense of being a brother to get close. So now you know everything. Are you going to leave? If you don't walk out that door today, Leo, you will never get rid of me. It doesn't matter if you get back with Ava. I closed the door. I'm not leaving. Hearing his story, Leo felt no disgust. He only felt a deep ache for him. Ava just told me she's getting married. Caleb's eyes lit up. Then, do you have any feelings for me? That night, when I heard you had someone you liked, I was jealous. Yes. Are you willing to give me a try? Right now, you need to eat and sleep. Leo pushed him onto the bed. Rest. We'll talk when you're better. He grabbed Leo's hand and pulled him into the bed. Let's try. I have a fever. I'm very hot. Leo elbowed him, his ears burning. Behave yourself. His hand slid to Leo's waistband. Let me. Physical activity helps break a fever. Do you know how hard it was to control myself these 2 months? Give me a chance to show you. After much persuasion, Leo gave in. He was not like a sick person at all. He was full of energy. He even cooked afterward. Leo was the one left exhausted in bed. He wondered how to tell their mom. He leaned against the headboard, smoking. What are we going to tell her? When he was with Julian, he had come out. But this was different. Caleb emerged from the kitchen wearing an apron. Mom already knows. He said their mother had caught him kissing a sleeping Leo years ago. She had told him to bury those feelings. At the time, she couldn't accept it. That's why he left so easily. But now she had changed her mind. After losing her husband so suddenly. After living an unhappy life with someone she didn't love. And knowing what kind of person Julian was. She was no longer against the idea of him and Caleb. As long as I am happy, she is happy. So all this time, Mom was helping you? No wonder she kept finding reasons for him to stay over. He was using Mom to win her over. Caleb smiled brightly. Yes, thanks to Mom. He took Leo's hand and announced their relationship online. He said it was only fair. He was so childish. He wrapped his arms around Leo from behind. He took a photo and posted it. My love,